Tonight's episode is not just a recount of events, but a deeply personal narrative from the very heart of the action. It's a tale of duty, split-second decisions, and the devastating aftermath that can forever alter the lives of those involved. Imagine being in the shoes of a seasoned law enforcement officer, your heart racing as you chase down a suspect. Every second counts, and one mistake can mean the difference between life and death. This is the reality Deputy Jonathan Feller faced on a cold January night in 2022. What started as a routine patrol turned into a nightmare, a series of events that led to a tragic and irreversible outcome. Tonight, Deputy Feller shares his harrowing tale, a story of commitment, chaos, and the heavy burden of a fatal mistake. He takes us through every heart-pounding moment of that fateful night, giving us a glimpse into the split-second decisions and the profound impact they had.
Hi, I'm Deputy Jonathan Feller, and I've been with the Clark County Sheriff's Department for over a decade. You think you're prepared for anything in this job. You train, you practice, you run through scenarios in your head. But nothing prepares you for the moment when everything goes wrong. This is the story of the night my life changed forever. The night I made a fatal mistake. It was January 29th, 2022, a cold, clear night in Battleground, Washington. The kind of night that feels like any other until it doesn't. I was on patrol, the usual hum of the radio my only company when the call came in. Armed robbery at a gas station near Vancouver. The suspect was on the run. My heart started pounding. This was it. The kind of situation we train for but hope never happens. I joined the pursuit, lights flashing, sirens wailing. We chased Julio Segura for miles, his car careening through the streets. He was desperate, driving like a madman. Finally, he crashed near a quiet residential area. We saw him take off on foot, disappearing into the darkness. We deployed a drone and tracked him down a secluded road. The drone showed him heading towards a house, Officer Donald Sahota's house. The tension was thick as we watched Segura approach the door. He talked to someone inside for a few minutes before the door closed. I remember thinking, please let this end peacefully. Sahota's wife called 911, reporting a man in distress. My gut tightened. Sahota, off-duty but always an officer, stepped outside to handle the situation. He tried to detain Segura, but things went south fast. A struggle broke out, and Sahota was stabbed 3 times. I sped towards the scene, every muscle in my body tense, praying I wasn't too late. When I arrived, I saw a man with a gun running towards the house. My training kicked in. In those 4 seconds, everything blurred. The training, the instincts, the fear. I fired. Once, twice, 3 times. The man went down, and then my world shattered. It wasn't Segura. It was Sahota. I had shot my own brother in blue. The aftermath was a blur of sirens, shouting, and the cold grip of realization. Sahota was gone. A hero, a friend, a husband and father, dead because of my mistake. The investigation that followed was grueling. Endless questions, media scrutiny, public outrage. I was caught in a whirlwind of guilt and despair. They cleared me of criminal charges, saying I acted in good faith during a chaotic scene. But that didn't absolve me. Not in my mind. Segura went to trial. The prosecution laid it all out. How his actions led to Sahota's death. He was found guilty of first and second-degree murder, among other charges. His defense argued I acted recklessly. Maybe they were right. Through it all, I kept replaying that night. What could I have done differently? How could I have seen the truth in those critical moments? The answers never came. The pain of losing Sahota didn't fade. His family, his friends, our community, we all felt the weight of that loss. Vancouver Police Chief Jeff Morey said it best. While we were grateful for the verdict, the tragedy of Don's death remained. In the months that followed, I became an advocate for change. Better training, clearer protocols, anything to prevent another tragedy like this. It's a small solace, but it's something. I'll never forget that night. It haunts me, But I share this story not for sympathy, but as a caution. In this line of work, split-second decisions can mean life or death. We must always strive to be better, to do better, for our sake and for those we serve and protect.